what made Moses stand out? So we're standing out.
Right, Salakia for that, man. Salakia. Right, so you know, you have to deal with this. This is part of your cross. This is something you have to deal with. As I was bringing up before, the scripture I was bringing up before. How a man, the Most High, set a man to be a variance against his father. Your family gonna come against, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. The lifestyle you're living is crazy. You're gonna feel alone, man, because there's things that you want to tell your girlfriend, but you know she's not gonna get it, man. It says that you got a lot of your life is you gotta keep it secret, man. You know what I mean? You're living a double life. Like you're presenting yourself one way to people, and you know you can only be yourself when you're around real brothers, man. That's in the truth. Because there's something that you believe in. There's something that the Most High has put in you. The Most High has revealed to you certain things, man. And the things that you know is very precious, man. He hasn't made everybody see it. The things that you meditate on, what are you meditating on, man? You're thinking upon one day being delivered, bro. Receiving the mercy from on high. Because you know that a great destruction is coming. A destruction so great, it said that the weapons of the Most High's indignation will destroy the whole land, man, within the time space of 1 hour. Do you understand? And you want to be beamed up out of that. A crown, that's the reward you're going to get for holding fast this word. This word, this foolish word, you're going to get that golden crown, man. Them immortal bodies, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be like gods, man, ruling over all the people in righteousness, though.
That's even better, you know, in righteousness. Because these people, they rule in wickedness, and look how the earth is. But imagine ruling in righteousness, and it says when the people, when the righteous are in rule, the people rejoice. But when the people are in when the wicked are in rule, so the people mourn. So that's literally gonna happen in the kingdom. Like when the righteous are ruling, people are gonna be happy. People are gonna be happy.
That's why you get a lot of people today highly depressed. They want to kill themselves. The system's not designed for the spirit. It's not designed, man. Why? Because it's a subconscious thing. People are not happy because of the scripture says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Do you understand? So there's no real love. Why? Because of iniquity, because of sin, because of the laws and commandments are being transgressed. You understand? But anyway, it says, it says, let me start from verse 1 again. 2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. It said words of prophecy. What does the word prophecy mean?
It's to say before.
To say before, man. You say things before they happen. And again, to speak words, things that don't readily appear, that takes faith, man. And it said that the Most High will put these words in our mouth, so there's a certain spirit that's working with us in these latter days. And what does Ezekiel say? Let me get Ezekiel. It's Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. Right, the first verse said, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So what have we found, man? We found that treasure, that hid treasure. But that's what, because before you came to this truth, what was you trying to find? You was trying to find the truth, man. You was trying to find the truth. It tells you in Romans that that the election have obtained it. The Israel have not obtained that what they're seeking for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest have been blinded. What has the elect obtained? What are they seeking for? They're seeking for the truth, man. Before I came to this truth, I was looking for wisdom. I wanted to be wise. I was going in the Bible. Proverbs was my favorite book, right? Because that's the only book I could understand. All the rest of the book, I didn't really understand it. I told my mom I wanted to be wise, man. That spirit was on me before I came to the truth. Okay? And then what happened? The Most High guided me through watching the internet. First I started listening to ICBK, but something didn't click with me with them, man, because they kept talking about building communities in the here and now. Building infrastructures now. They would never speak about the kingdom of heaven to come. They would never speak about it. And they kept saying black people. Black people gotta do this, black people gotta do that. Do you get what? And they wasn't diligent in their work. Like they probably bring out a video like once every month. They wasn't diligent. Because General Yohana, he would always teach in that Philadelphia, them areas, Philly, them areas there, cussing out the black woman, cussing out the white man. Right? But they weren't diligent, man. Like GMS, they're bringing out videos consistently.
Every day.
You can't even keep up with the amount of videos that they're bringing out. They're always bringing out something, man.
That's that what Yahweh Shai was doing. Yahweh Shai was consistently working, man. You know, he was consistently, you know, doing, you know, the work, man. You know,
Right.
so maybe, you know, GMS might be the church of Philadelphia. We don't know, bro. It might be.
You know, but we say that the spirit's on GMS, man. So it said, right, eat this roll and go speak unto the house of Israel. Again, it says eat. Because again, that's why David said, thou makest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. In Psalms 23. And what's on the table? Different food, man. Wine, milk. But this word is likened unto food, man. You know, bread, right? Lamb, herbs, milk, wine. So who's our enemies? The presence of the 2/3 of our people and the so-called white man. The Most High has given us this wisdom and knowledge in the presence of our enemies, man. And that's why we stand up. The scripture says, and then shall the righteous man stand up with great boldness against such as has afflicted him. Who afflicted us? The so-called white man. Most High given us this knowledge in the presence of our enemies, man. So when it said what? It said, said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest. Eat this roll and go speak unto the house of Israel. So learn this knowledge and go and speak unto your people. So before you come to this knowledge, you gotta have to have a love for your people, man. You're not gonna teach this word and have no love for your people. You gotta love for your people. That's why you curse your people out. You love your son, you love your daughter, so what do? You discipline your children. Because you love your children. Alright? So a lot of the time when you come out here because you love your people. You understand? Yahweh Shai loved this. He was a hard man, but at the same time he loved his people. I think there's a scripture that says that when Yahweh Shai saw his people scattered, he said he had compassion. He was moved with compassion on them because they were like sheep having no shepherd. You know, that's how you gotta see your people, because eventually we're gonna be the rulers of our own people. You're gonna be ruling over them. You understand? So it said this. It said, so I opened my mouth and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, son of man, cause thy belly to eat and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Right? Your bowels is talking about your mind. Fill your mind up with this food, man. The different breakdowns, getting the correct doctrine, right? When they say, he that believeth on me, as the scripture says, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Well, your belly is talking about your inward mind. Again, it's all about renewing your mind.
Water it's it's basically used, to clean you, because that's how we take showers, man. That's how we, clean our body.
That's right,
so
that's
this
right.
word, it cleanses your mind from all that filth that you've learned from the past, man.
That's right.
That's
right. You see what I'm saying? Water and fire. Fire is also a clean agent. Like if you want to purge gold, you put it through like in ancient times you put it through fire to purge it. And that's what a blacksmith would do. Like if you see there's that YouTube channel with that guy, he'll take an old rusty chain and he can transform it into a samurai sword, man. So you put that rusty chain, you put it through the fire, man. That's how you clean it. So what is this wisdom, knowledge, what is this wisdom, this truth do for you? It renews your mind, man. You start to think in a way that you never thought of before you came into this truth. You start to see things differently. You start to see women differently. You start to see the truth, man. You start to see everything clearly. Because it's the truth. Meaning the Most High is getting rid of that old mindset that you had. That worldly mindset that you had. Why? Because the Most High is preparing you for something. He's preparing you to be put on the throne. You can't be a nigga sitting on the throne. Some grimy nigga sitting on the throne. The Most High is going to have to equip you with certain knowledge, man. Some people listening.
Go precept, right?
Hold on. You're people, you're the Israelites. You're the people of the Bible. The woman didn't want to hear that. She got simple, man. Comfortable. It's just too comfortable in Babylon.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 6. As gold in a fire have you tried them and received them as a burnt offering.
Yeah, again.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 6. As gold in a furnace have you tried them.
As gold in a furnace have you tried them.
And received them as a burnt offering.
And received them as a burnt offering.
Because you were saying how fire is like a cleansing agent. That the elect are being purified through this fire, man. This spiritual fire that's cleansing you.
Yeah, read that again.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 6. As gold in a furnace have you tried them.
Right, so stop. As gold is tried in a furnace have you tried them. How's the Most High trying you? By bringing adversity on you. Because he wants to see if you're worthy to even have this knowledge. Because what's this knowledge going to lead to? It's going to lead to you gaining immortality. So the Most High ain't going to give, that the first fruits of that gift to just anybody. You have to prove yourself. Go on.
And receive them as a burnt offering.
And receive them as a burnt offering. It's noise, man.
Death angels, man.
Receive them as a burnt offering. And what does that mean? That means that, brothers, when you come to this truth, you're making yourself basically a sacrifice unto the Most High. You're presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice. That's meaning you're forsaking your way and applying yourself into the Most High's ways of doing things, onto His business. Because the Most High has a business He's running. This is the business.
For this business.
That's what Yahweh Shai said to his mother, man. He said, don't you know I've got to be about my father's business? You understand? The Lord gave us this money, this riches, and we got to go and trade it in with our people. Our people got to listen to this word. The Lord is trying to make business. He's trying to bring profit. It's His business. So you're a laborer. The Lord gives you some money and say, listen, go and profit my business. So what do? You go out into the highways and hedges, you set up your camp, and you try and bring people into this truth, man. That's the business that the Most High is running right here, which means that we're all businessmen. You understand?
Heavenly businessmen.
Heavenly business.
That's right.
But say, we read verse 3 again. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll, that I give thee. Then did I eat, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. Right? It was honey for sweetness, because at first when you come to this truth, that's why it says in the scripture, it says, anon with joy you receive it. But then when persecution arises, by and by, he's offended, because he sees the bitterness of this truth. Do you understand? It's sweet at first, but it's also bitter. That's what it said in the scripture. It says it was in my belly. It was bitter, and you get that. Yeah, this hold on. This is Revelations 10. Let me start from verse 8. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. The book is talking about this truth. Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up. Eat it up, man. Eat this whole thing, man. The prophecies, the certain parts about this truth that you might be offended in, man. Now, certain guys, they struggle to understand that all Edomites are not going to be delivered, that they're all going into slavery. There's certain guys that get offended. Yeah, but you know, they're trying to justify all this, but there's wicked niggas too, you know. There's wicked, yeah, we know that, man. But Esau, he's the vessel fitted to wrath, man. You have to understand that. You gotta understand that there's a balance with the Most High. There's a vessel which the Most High created to show his love and his mercy to. And there's a vessel that the Most High has chosen for his wrath and his hate and his indignation for. So it says, and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey, just like it said in Ezekiel. Right? And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And that's why a lot of our people don't want to come to this truth, because they see it's a bitter lifestyle that we're living. Coming out here, teaching this truth, looking crazy, looking like we've lost our minds. But the majority of our people know that there's peace that comes along with this, man. There's an inner peace that comes along with teaching this word. For forsaking this world and everything that's in this world and applying ourselves to this knowledge, man. You got something?
Revelation chapter 12 verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh HaMashiach. I was meditating on what you were saying, how you know, some people want to save Esau.
Yeah.
You know, but this man wants to make war with us. Wouldn't that make me stupid to want someone to be saved that wants to make war with me?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't know, you know, a lot of our people, because they come from the world, innit? And the world teaches them to the unity, we're all one people. Yeah, we're all human beings. They probably got like Edomite friends at their job. You know, they probably hang around Edomite friends, right? They probably go clubbing with Esau. We say. So when they come up across us now, and we say that they're all gonna be destroyed, they're going to slavery, they're gonna be exterminated, they're like, think about it, like, yeah, it's an emotional thing, but it's also the fact that if they came and joined us, they'd have to be teaching against their own friends, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're literally gonna have to cut off the whole world. And that's just it, man. When you come to this truth, you can't serve two masters, man. So you're gonna hate the one and love the other. That's just the way it is. You can't have your foot in the world and have the other foot in this truth. You can't do that.
A lot of our people as well, they're under the illusion that God loves everyone. But they can't show that in the Bible to save their lives.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you come to this truth, you're like, you're in a question, you're like, yeah, but what about that verse though? What about that verse that says this? What about this verse that says that? You're trying to test the knowledge out to see if it's true. I understand it, I get it in it. Because when I first came to this truth, my dad's dad, he's Nigerian. Yeah? So, and ISUPK, they taught that if you're West African, you're a Hamite.
Did they teach that?
Yeah, they teach that if you're Nigerian, that you're done. You're a heathen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They teach that if you're West African, you're a Hamite. You know what I mean? So when I first came to this knowledge, man, I was like, oh shit, my heart was bumping, my heart was racing. I was like, I'm gonna go in slavery. I'm like, nah. I started going through the scriptures, man. I was like, yeah, what about Galatians? When it said that we're all Abraham's seed. I tried to save my soul. I said, what about my mom? She's Jamaican. I might be saved through her. I was teaching in the street, man. I was teaching in the highways and hedges, thinking that I was condemned, man. Even though I was teaching. Showing you that there was a spirit on me, man. There was a spirit on me, even though I was out there teaching. Huh?
Based on the Old or New Testament?
The Old Testament.
Old Testament,
Yeah, according to truth.
saying that's incorrect. That is different.
Huh?
If that is so, it's incorrect because in the Old Testament, the standard there is also what's not. In the New Testament, and in the Scripture. So, yes, correct that.
Yeah, we don't know how to travel down. We don't have.
That's what you were saying. The brother was literally speaking about how our people like to question things, and it's an example of him questioning, what was being taught, man.
What I'm saying is,
so the Lord can use people as examples to show what exactly the brother was talking about.
what I'm saying is, when you look at the Old Testament,
No.
less 12 tribes, it's from the New Testament. In the Old Testament,
But going back to the point before saying interrupted, how you were speaking about how I was meditating on what you were saying, how they have an attachment to Esau. And the scripture speaks in Revelation how we'll be fed by the serpent. So really and truly, it's an attachment to the serpent that we've had for a long time that our people don't want to let go.
Yeah, it's something called Stockholm syndrome, where you fall in love with your oppressor.
don't have to tell you my reference.
So
Keep it for yourself.
anyway, it's in Revelations 10, verse 10, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. Right, sweet as honey, because when you go in the scriptures, it told you.
So that is based on
Matthew chapter 13.
the New Testament, but those verses it's not 100% correct.
Hold on.
If you look at it,
Yeah, this is Matthew 13, verse 20. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yeah, because it's honey, it's sweet. When you find out you're an Israelite, you can have multiple women. You know what I'm saying? You find out that we're above all nations of people, that the white man is going to get his reward for what he's done to us. I was jumping for joy, man. I wanted to hear more. It was just fortunate for me from back then that ISUPK wasn't constantly bringing out videos, because I like back then how General Yohana was cussing out the white man. He was cussing out the black man. He was proper getting on them, like proper hitting home. You get what I mean? But then he wasn't diligent, so I started watching GMS, man. At first, I didn't like Elder Tahar because they were very angry, innit? And I was thinking, no, that can't be the prophets, man. But then I started listening to them, and they were bringing out the proper breakdowns of Revelations, Genesis. Then I was like, okay. Thinking I was getting more edification from them than as opposed to just getting entertainment from ISUPK and 14th Street Israelites and these other camps that were there at the time. You get what I mean? But then I found out through GMS, man, that I'm an actual Israelite. I was like, phew, I'm not going to slavery. I'm not going to slavery, boy. Because they were said that, the people of West Africa, they sold the Israelites into slavery.
Yeah.
So they can't be Israelites.
Come on.
No, this we said. Yeah, but the scripture says that a brother, his eye shall be evil towards his other brother, man. That's part of the curses. You know what I mean? So yeah. So it said, yeah, that is the same as he that heareth the word and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet have he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. Yeah, because you're gonna find out it's lonely. It's a lonely road you're taking, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be by yourself. Do you understand? You're going to be by yourself. Like me and my situation, man. I've literally got nothing worldly to show for myself. I don't have my own place, I've got no car.
Same here.
Do you understand? I don't have nothing worldly to show for myself. So if you was to go chat up a woman now, she wants to see that you've got something worldly. She might stay because you, I don't know, you probably doing something for her. Like you might be good looking, or maybe you might give good conversation, or you might
give her the good,
you know what I mean? You know? But after a while, when you got nothing, like you can't, you know, to show for yourself, she might lose you.
Yeah, I can feel that is though. Like a lot of our women are so attached to the world.
Well, the scriptures tell you that the Most High is deprived of wisdom, man. You know? In fact, let me get that.
And women are carnal creatures. They love pleasure. They love seeing beautiful things, man. These are. So if you're driving a Lamborghini, they want to come to you because you have that Lamborghini.
This is Job chapter 39, verse 17. Because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding. Yeah. You know, a woman is the weaker vessel, man. And women are really wicked. It says, from women came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. You know what I'm saying? Women, they're wicked. That's why Satan back then went to the woman first, man. And really was individuals from another nation enticed her into ungodliness or sinful mannerisms, the ways of the heathens. Just like now, Esau is enticing the so-called black woman into his ways of doing things. And because you, Adam, you not following the ways of Esau, she don't respect you. You know?
And I'm meditating on what you were saying as well. You know, Satan, the serpent came over to Eve, and we're not gonna accept anything from the serpent. So you know, the only thing that will probably make us fall is the woman that we have, man, because they look like us, man. So we trusted them to some extent, but then they betrayed us.
You know, and the Most High, you have to understand when you come to the street, the Most High has chosen men. Okay, the Most High has chosen men to be a part of this government body, this tabernacle, this temple, because they're the ones that's going to be the rulers. Like if you look at the Freemasons, only men can be initiated. They don't bring in women. So even though the global elite are pushing this women's lib doctrine, this philosophy, they don't believe in that shit. Of course not. They'll push it on the people because the people are stupid. They're dumb. But the people that are in authority of this modern day and time, they don't put their women, they don't bring in their women into their inner circle of power, man. Was it the Rothschilds, man? You had 5 sons. He put his sons in positions of prominence as the bankers, man, in France, in Germany, and Britain, and those European countries, man. Those 5 European countries. He didn't put none of his daughters and none of that. He brought his sons there to manage the financial matters, man. Do you understand?
And that's what the Most High is going to do. He's going to put his sons to rule the world, man.
That's right. So it says in Revelation 21. Let me start from verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. That's the point. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men. See that? That's why the Paul say, I suffer not a woman to teach. Because the only thing that come out of a woman's mouth, man, is confusion. You know, that's why there's balance, man. Man is about order, a woman is about the confusion. There's balance of the Most High, you see what I'm saying? Man is supposed to represent man is supposed to represent the righteousness, women represent the wickedness. Now, I'm not trying to say that there's women among our nation that will believe, because there will be. I know 2 women personally that do believe. I remember the 2 sisters that were here. The other one, she's been the truth for over 8 years, man. She came to me when I was out here teaching this truth over 8 years ago, man. And she's been a follower of GMS ever since, man. You understand? So there's some women that believe in this thing. And they've literally, I know that some women that have given up their jobs because they're not going to consent to taking that JAB.
Yeah, that's hard.
Why? Because they believe, they trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. So imagine that. You got sisters that are going harder than brothers, man.
That's that devil, General Yohana, influencing Israel to take that needle, man.
And then notice I put a spirit upon a woman to call in the lash and cuss his ass out. See, the Most High can put a spirit upon his sisters, you know.
Yeah.
So even though we come out and say, listen, the Most High not dealing with women, you got certain sisters that, you know, the Most High is dealing with, man. But they have their order. That's the Most High didn't choose women to teach this word. Because you got this woman, her name is Sister, what's her name? Sister something, man, what's her name? She dresses up in white. She's got a whole YouTube channel. She's got thousands of followers, yeah? But I made a video reproving her saying the Most High didn't stop no woman to teach the word. A woman can receive like visions and stuff like that concerning the end times. Like you might have a woman, she might have dreams, man, concerning prophecy, like the deliverance and so forth and so on. But she's not meant to be out here teaching those prophecies. She's going to come to you and then you tell her the interpretation of that dream that she had. You understand?
Just to ask questions from my husband.
Exactly, there's an order. You get what I'm saying? So he said, and I heard, let me start from verse 1 again, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Right, now, people think that the earth itself is just going to explode. That's that worldly Christianized belief that when the end comes, the earth is going to be destroyed. Good people are going to go to hell, and then, good people are going to go to heaven, and bad people are going to burn in hell. When you look up the word new heavens and new earth, the word there for new is kainos. Huh? Yeah. And I saw a new heaven, right? That one up.
G2537. Kainos.
Right, kainos, which means new as respects from, recently made, fresh, unworn, unused, or new. Hold on. Right, new. So with respect to age, new. I'm trying to put this. Refreshed. Hold on. basically means to refreshed. Yeah. Refreshed or renewed. That's the word for new. Kainos, man. So basically, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Right, so this earth is going to be refreshed by use of nuclear fire. So it said, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Right, because who's our husband? That's the Most High. And we're the Most High's woman. And what, again, scriptures talk about there being like a feast, and every man has to wear his clothes, man. That you don't come to the feast naked. That's in Revelation 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Right, so to this wedding,
That's the spirit, because you were speaking about them when they came.
So what is the garments that you brothers are putting on? It's truth, it's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And to walk naked, to see your shame, is to be walking in the ways of this world, man. The sinful practices of this world, like the scriptures talk about the wine, woe unto him that put his bottle to his neighbor, that he may see his nakedness. In fact, let me get that. That's in Habakkuk, man. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Right, because when you go to Revelation 17, it tells you about the cup that woman had in her hand, filled with filthiness of her fornication, man. And we know that woman is referring to a miracle. And what's the wine that's in that cup, man? The practices, the ways, and the whole practices of this place, man. The whole conversation, the whole way of life of a miracle. It's all abomination. And it's all made our people drunken to the point where they can't even see the right way that they're supposed to be walking in, man. Different philosophy. That's why it's like a battle trying to make our people see this truth, man. To make our people see that they're not black. Remember that guy that came up and we were trying to force him to see that his skin color isn't black, man?
My brother does the top down way black. That's a classification that they put on you. It's no different than nigga. I personally see it like that.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Because they see it as like an empowerment, man. The black, that color black is like an empowerment thing, man.
Or even to the point where they'll use nigga as a term of endearment. Oh no, it's our word, we're going to take it back. It's a term of endearment. See, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Even though, what's it called, I believe in Jamaica they say blood clot or something like that.
Yeah.
It goes back into a cloth that they used to have that is blood, something like that.
Oh, see, okay.
So our people have been so programmed to attach themselves with words that they have been oppressing them for so long, but they still use those words.
And that's really witchcraft, man.
Spells,
That's what,
spelling.
yeah, that's why they call certain words spelling, like you're spelling it. You casting spells, man, when you say certain words. Like when you call yourself black, you're basically saying you're something low or something dirty or unclean. Okay? But, let me pull that on. That's part of that drunk or the wine of Babylon. Yeah, the word dirty in the Merriam-Webster thesaurus is for the word black. Hold on. It's basically black. Yeah, synonyms for black: bleak, cheerless, chill, cloudy, dark, depressive, desolate. It's a lot. Murky. But where's the other ones? There's certain ones I'm looking for.
All negative attributes.
Yeah, so bad, dark, evil, immoral, rotten, sinful, unlawful, unrighteous, unsavory, wicked, vile or villainous, wrong, base, despicable, dirty, evil-minded, ill, low, mean, snide or sordid. Now these are all synonyms for the word black. Or corrupt, degenerate. You know, so when you're referring to yourself as black, this is what you're referring to yourselves as being. And our people are taking this as some type of a prideful word, man, that we should take pride in, man. Do you understand? But the whole purpose of us, the prophets, is to bring this water out, man, to clear your mind, to renew your mind, to make you understand that you're more than that. We're the Most High's chosen people. We're above these other nations. So by saying that you're white, okay, hold on. Right, the word white. The word white means something chaste, moral, or virgin, or virtuous, immaculate, or spotless, ethical, good, or honest, virtuous, or upright. So basically, so-called white people, they made our people drunken with these terminologies, man. So they deceived the whole world into making people view them as being these things, as being spotless, honest, good. So now you're looking at so-called white people as being honest and good, as them being virtuous and upright, as them being blameless and guiltless. Even though they're the people that have caused the greatest crimes, they're looked at as being the gentlemen, the ladies, you know what I'm saying? The standard of uprightness, the standard of righteousness. You know, it's all spells, man, witchcraft. It's all witchcraft.
That's why people don't do research on these words, man. You know, because what is it to know how wisdom means to know? You know, so our people are destroyed because of a lack of knowledge, because they don't know this information. You know, when you do your research and you search and you find out these words.
Yeah, get that scripture up.
Oh, yeah.
My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Etymology.
Yeah, it's very important to get into the words. Very important.
And it's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest unto me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
Right, stop, read that again.
It's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Right, so it said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So what's the knowledge that our people are trying to aspire to have? The knowledge that's inside the universities, the colleges, the educational school system. We call it the food system, right? And it's really all indoctrination, man. Okay, what's going on in the media? My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. The reason why we was created as a nation was to execute the Most High's laws and statutes and ordinances in the world. That's the reason why we as a people were formed. The Most High gave us laws and commandments at Mount Sinai after we exited Egypt, man, and told us to keep these laws and commandments, and the Lord will bless us and make us to be high over the other nations, man. But because we refuse to keep those laws, look at us now. My people are destroyed for that same lack of knowledge. What's the knowledge that we're supposed to have? This knowledge right here. The knowledge that we're trying to bring back to our people again. The Most High said what? He's going to see the dry bones, right? And he's going to breathe onto them the breath of life, man. Which is this knowledge. Onto those dry bones. So read that again.
The book of Hosea 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest unto me.
And this is what our people are rejecting. You see it every time we come out to the streets. They walk past. Okay? But they walk past, why? Because the Most High has put a spirit upon the majority of our people to be blinded. Go ahead.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
I also forget thy children. That's why we say, because they rejected knowledge, the vast majority of our people are going to die. Man, woman, and child. Man. Okay? So let me get that. This is Revelation 17. This is verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. What's that woman talking about? Right. And what proves that is on verse 18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right. So go back to verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color. Now scarlet, that's red. And if you go into scriptures, the word red represents sin. Represents sin. Because who's ruling America? The man of sin, Esau himself. So it all makes sense, man. Because what color did Esau come out?
Red.
Red all over. Showing you that he will be the devil. And what color is the devil? The devil is red, man.
The cartoon, they're always painting red.
They're always painting red. So that's all Esau's pretty much telling on himself who he is. Fine, let me get that. That's It's Isaiah chapter 1 verse 18. Come now and let us reason together, saith Yahweh, though your sins be as scarlet, as it is read before, they shall be white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Again, like I said, sin is red, man, color. We go back, Revelations 17 and verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Names of blasphemy, filthy, wicked lies. That's what the word blasphemy means. So this society is based upon lies and deceit, man. Esau, using this whole belief of there being a virus, is trying to convince the world into taking that JAB, man. The jab. I know people personally on my job that's taking it. Now they regret it. Now they regret taking the JAB. Why? Because they were deceived. They actually believed that there was a virus. They're taking both doses, the first and the second dose.
One of my uncles developed a neurological disorder. He's now paralyzed.
So they say what?
One of my uncles developed a neurological disorder that a couple of days after taking the JAB.
See what I'm saying?
This is how devilish they are. We went back to the hospital. Oh, we can't make a connection if it's the JAB that done that to you. You can't make a connection.
See what I'm saying? That's how this devil operates. That's how this devil operates. But you see why? Because my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Our people don't value information, man. They don't care about what's going on.
What's Love Island?
Exactly. They're concerned with that surface level information, man. Our people are not concerned. they're not concerned at all. That's why it's going to take me. He's saying, yo. Our people are not concerned with what's going on. And that's why they're paying for it. That's why our people are paying for it. You know, there's a lot of people dying, you know, being injured by this thing. Yeah? And even, what's his name? Bill Gates said he wants to get rid of 10 to 15% of the world's population using the whole crack scene, man.
There you go.
You know, if our people really up to date on what's going on, they'd be privy to these things, man. Knowledge is very important.
That's another thing. They don't
very
understand
important.
that the devil is a liar.
There you go.
Liar, they think Bill Gates, Kill Gates has to tell you to his face, I'm the devil. He does it deceitfully. He's not going to tell you I'm the
He's
devil.
not going to tell you that. He's not going to tell you that.
He's going to lie to you.
That's what they call it, the 10 lie vision.
And if you analyze like a serpent, a snake don't just attack you straight away. It comes subtly, it calculates its prey and then it bites it, man. And that's what Esau does.
He's
you know?
expecting.
He puts it on the news in a way where you'll be like, oh, this might be the solution to the problem. You know, tell you society is going to come back normal, you know? And then he comes and injects you that poison.
That's part of that wine. First he makes you drunk. First he makes you drunk with them lies, man. And that's when he gets you. You know what I mean? That's how Esau, and the serpent is subtle. It tells you that in Genesis chapter 3 that the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Subtle meaning he does things by gradualism. Gradually he gets you comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Alright? And that's when he gets you. Let me get that's on Genesis chapter 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh the Most High had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Right. And it said, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Now, if you check it, we're also beasts. When you go in the scriptures, we're also beasts too.
Esther is one of the female prophets in the Bible.
So that's Eve, man. That's Eve, queen. What's the scripture? It's, Ecclesiastes, right, chapter 3, verse 18. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that the Most High might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. I don't have nothing. See, this the real food that he should be seeking for. You know, he's seeking for the meat that perisheth, man. This is the meat that will endure to everlasting life, man. That will give you immortality. You're going to be rewarded with immortality by receiving this word. But it says, verse 19, for that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. You understand? So we as men, we're also likened unto beasts. But it said that the serpent was more subtle than any beast. Talking about a wicked people. A people that was created to be the wicked. Created to be the devil, man. Because when you go to Malachi chapter 1, it tells you that Edom is a people that the Lord has indignation against forever, man. A people. And liken that people as being that old serpent, man. Let's go back to it. Let's go to Genesis 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Now the field represents the world. Now let's go there. That's Matthew chapter 13, verse 37. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. So I just want to bring out that precept. So we know that the serpent was more subtle than any creature that the Most High created in the world. And that serpent was pretty much the Edomites. But back then they weren't called the Edomites. There was just a nation of the wicked. Because you had the sons of the righteous, okay? Then you had also the wicked, man. Back in the beginning. So again, Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh, the Most High, had made. Right. Psalms. Psalms 58 verse 1. This is do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. So we know the wicked, part of being wicked is the violence that they commit in the earth, man. We know this talking about the so-called white man. So it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Again, when they say the woe to the bloody city is all full of lies and robbery, man. The so-called white man rules off of his power, comes from his power to deceive, man. As it goes in Revelations, the serpent deceived the whole world. So let's read on. It says, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Going back to Genesis again, man. The poison is like the poison of a serpent. They're like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. That's right. So we know this, the wicked is the serpent, man. It's a man, an actual man, a people on planet Earth. When you got this camp called GOCC, their breakdown to Genesis chapter 3 is that there was an actual serpent. The serpent is an actual snake. I remember I was speaking to these two guys in a Jamaican restaurant. I was trying to figure out their doctrine. Right? I asked them what camp they're a part of. They didn't want to tell me. The leader of the two, he told me that he just opened up the Bible and the knowledge just came to him. But obviously, so he's basically denying his elders, isn't it? So I said to him, seeing he doesn't want to tell me, I'm going to have to find out what they believe in so I can find out what camp that they're a part of. So I was talking through them, talking to them, and I was going into like, the so-called white man is the wicked, he's the serpent. And he's saying, nah, the serpent is the actual snake, man. I'm thinking, nah, you know what I'm saying? So you got guys out there that believe that the devil is an actual serpent, man. It's a man.
How would a snake, when you think about it, like, logically, how would a snake deceive human beings? It's mad, bro. That makes sense.
Huh? Yeah, Yahweh Shai. His name's Yahweh Shai. Yeah. Yeah. And besides the so-called black man, from the tribe of Judah, from our tribe. Okay. The Jews are already us, so-called black people. Okay, you're not black. Your skin color isn't black. Okay. That's part of the deception of this Babylon. You know, making you believe that you're black or you're inferior to so-called white people. You're already over so-called white people. All right. So you gotta listen. So going back to what was up before. Right. So it said Psalms 58 verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Right. As I going up before. Revelations chapter 12 verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So what's that talking about?
It's that when the House returns, they're going to be war inside, you know, they're going to have their air forces, you know, their military might, and you know, Yahushua's going to be the Archangel Michael, and he's going to conquer the white man's army, man.
That's right.
And then, you know, they prevailed, not meaning that they lost, man. Like they weren't able to overcome
They were found no more in heaven.
And then meditating on what you were saying, how, you know, the serpent spits poison. You know, he deceived the whole world by spreading out his lies.
And it said poison kills you gradually. Poison kills you gradually. Like with these different lockdowns, they're slowly trying to pressurize people into just accepting the jab, man. With constant lockdowns, it will pressurize people to say, listen, if I want any type of normalcy, I'm just going to have to consent to taking that JAB. So again, this is how Esau, that's how he ingeniously gets people to consent, man. You get what I mean? That's part of his deception.
Kind of like the vampire at the door. He has to get you to consent to come in.
So he has to get you to invite him into his house. You get what I mean?
When you were saying that poison kills you gradually, you know, when you're part of the Muslim religion, the white man's Christianity religion, it just leads you all the way to destruction. You know, like that poison is intoxicating your mind because you're eating shrimp, you're eating pork, you're shaving your beard. It's gradually destroying you, and ultimately it's going to lead to that second death destruction.
That's right. You know, it's all by and by or gradualism. That's how the so-called white man he deals, man. You know, that's how he deals subtly. Because obviously the true MOTB, the CHIP, that's the ultimate thing that he's going to use to try and chip everybody. But he's using the so-called the JAB first, isn't it? And warming people up for the actual chip. So it's all gradually leading to that thing, man. Alright? So let me read that part again, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. Now I'm going to look at that word devil. Revelation 12 verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil. Right? The word there's Diablos.
Strong's G1228. Diabolos.
Right. It's a Greek word, Diablos, which means are prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. That's why the scriptures talk about the accuser of our brethren has been cast out. You know what I mean? False accuser or slanderer. This is it, metaphor. Applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of God, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. So it's a man acting as part of the devil. It's a man who's opposing the cause of the Most High. So that's why, again, you got to get into the words, man. It shows you that the devil is not a spiritual entity, and it's talking about the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, which is the so-called white man. That's it right there. And what they say is that the devil shall cast some of you into prison. A spiritual demon can't throw you into prison, man. It's got to be talking about an actual man. That's why I said he causeth all, both small and great, to receive a mark in their forehead. A spiritual demon not going to tell you to do that. As a man. Do you get what I mean?
You know, I went into that word that previously you just said about how Satan's going to cast someone into prison. If you go on that word, I believe it's the word to try, yeah? It basically means that if you go into that word in Greek, it means to pierce or to pierce through. So that needle is literally going to be used to pierce through the skin, man. Literally in the Latin, man.
Right. Talking about the jab, innit? Or the CHIP. It's on Revelations 2 verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So first it says, fear none of those things that thou shalt suffer. Why? Because the times ahead is going to be serious, man. The Most High is going to put things in front of you to test your faith. You know? So it's more than just coming out here with a garment on and a 12 tribe sign. The Most High is going to put things in front of you to test you. To see if you're worthy of deliverance. Because we've seen all camps, manner of camps fall off. We've seen guys teaching perverse things, right? But the times will come where you're going to get put to the test, man. Because you might punk out. The Most High will put a spirit upon you where you fall out. Or you succumb and allow yourself to take that chip. You know?
That doesn't happen. No. You get me? I have to leave my job when it comes. I'm not taking that.
Certain brothers might have to live off grid. You're not going to have a shape up or looking clean and good in that day, man. You're going to be looking rough, yeah? You're going to be hungry. Most High's going to put you through starvation. Yeah? You're going to have to be used to being uncomfortable. Because uncomfortable times are coming, man. Famine, severe scarcity of food. Right now in China, there's a lockdown in China now, man, because the coronavirus is now spreading. That's what they're saying. So they're locking down businesses, everything. Okay, they're making sure everybody takes the test, takes the JAB. You can't go on certain travels. You can't go on certain flights. You can't do nothing until you take the thing. So that's what's gonna happen, man. There's gonna be another lockdown, right? And they're really gonna start pushing it on people. So brothers might just have to be on the run, man. Some brothers are gonna get locked up, gonna get arrested, taken to concentration camp. There's prisons outside of London, man. Mega prisons that they're building. So that time is coming. Let me read that again. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried," man. "And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." So that's your reward. Rulership, authority, right? But the majority of our people are going to miss out on that, man. They're going to miss out on that. But you can't be mad with the majority of your people because they've been blinded. The Most High put the spirit on slumber upon them, eyes that they should not see and ears that they shouldn't hear. And the scripture says, "Blessed are your ears and your eyes, for they see." Okay? Right, let me get them. This Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1. "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate," man. "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." That's right. So prepare yourself for temptation. When you look up the word temptation, it means a test or a trial of a man's holiness or character. "And whatsoever is brought upon you, take cheerfully." Right? So it said, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall." Just like when Peter was walking towards Yahweh Shai, and then what happened? He started to fall because the waves, other things, worldly things started shaking his faith, man. Do you understand? So yeah, so that's the times that we're coming to.
And if you go into that word Spartan, it means it's like you're uncomfortable. A synonym for uncomfortable is Spartan. You know?
Say that again?
A synonym for the word uncomfortable goes back to the word Spartan.
Spartan?
Yeah, okay. If you type in uncomfortable on Google, it should say on like a category, so it says Spartan.
Get that.
I ain't going to it on my phone, but if you type it in, you should see it.